Welcome back to Trove One, everybody. Today we broke free from the house. We had to get out. We had to go explore because there's a lot of water running around right now. The rain's pretty much quit where we're at. There may be a little bit more come through, but most of it is done. We've had a ton of rain in the last few days. Some crazy flooding. Like there's some pretty bad stuff that's happened. But this is one of the creeks. We're gonna cross this bridge and go on up into the Ozarks. I want to see. We're not doing anything too crazy. We're in the Tahoe today. We're going to test it out a little bit, but we're going to be very careful about what we're doing because of so much flooding and stuff going on. Obviously, we don't want to get into anywhere where we would have to be rescued or anything like that because, you know, when you have disaster type situations, there's emergency personnel are already strained. So we're going to be very careful. We're only sticking to high roads. We're not doing any water crossings because it's obviously very flooded, but we do want to try to drive by some waterfalls and things. So we're gonna go hit up some roads that I'm pretty sure will be safe. If we need to, we'll turn around and go another way. We're not crossing anything crazy. We're also in the Tahoe, so we don't have a winch. I got my chainsaw and a few things like that. We got some food. We're gonna go explore. We need to get out of the house for a little bit, and we haven't been out in the Ozarks in a while, and we haven't taken the Tahoe really anywhere. So let's hit the road.
Go float, darling.
You can't go floating on that. It's too dangerous. There's actually a road like right over there. It's just in the water right now. That's part of the Ozarks Adventure Trail. It's just non-existent. It's just part of the creek. There's actually a lot of that trail that would just be in creek bed right now. There's so much water running around. I don't know how far we're gonna be able to go. We're gonna stay up on top of the mountains and hopefully we'll just see some cool runoff and waterfalls and stuff. But there's just water everywhere right now. Like, this is just water rolling out of the back of the pond. But it's so cool to see the spring rains, the spring green, red buds and dogwoods are blended out, and just the beautiful color coming back to the Ozarks and the water. It's been a dry spring, and we're just completely made up for it. It's soaking wet now, and the rivers are flooded. We're just driving along eating our peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, and well, there's just like waterfalls everywhere because obviously it rained. And this is why we're out here. So we're gonna see some much bigger ones, but there's a little one here. If I can get through the brush, there's just water everywhere, and a little waterfall up there. This is a tiny one. Like, there's massive waterfalls out here in the Ozarks. This wouldn't even really be typically classified as a waterfall, but at the moment, it's kind of cool, so I'm gonna check it out. Now you can see why we had to escape the house and come out here, even though it may seem a little crazy. Because the Ozarks just come alive in the spring, especially after crazy rainfall like we just had. Found another one right off the road. Check this out. Super cool, and only would be running right after a big rain. That rock is very, that was not there. bit of a landslide up there. That happened. That rock right there by the road, that little landslide there, just happened not long ago, probably during this rain, because I was on this road doing a recovery like just a few weeks ago, and that wasn't there. That just happened. I wish the camera could pick up on everything we're seeing, but there's water coming down this hill. There's this creek rolling through here. There's more over here. We're actually going to try to hike down to this. At least I am. Some of the kids may as well, and Sarah. But there's a waterfall right here below the road that is rolling. So we're going to try to get around to it and at least get a look at it from the top. But it's kind of raining a little bit at the moment, so, and it's cold. There's a cold front that's come through, so it's pretty chilly, but there's a waterfall right there. We're going to check it out. We're checking it out. It's rolling good. We're not going to try to get everybody down the side of the mountain to the bottom, though. We're just going to look at it from up here. Pretty good, isn't it? I sent the kids back to the car with Sarah. I came on down here to the bottom. I've never seen this. This waterfall gets running, but I've never seen it this way. I've been by it a dozen times, but it's usually just a trickle. But it is roaring. So cool.
Pretty amazing.
All right, that was another waterfall just down the road from the first one, right off the road again. Sarah went down to the bottom of this one this time. So another cool waterfall that's usually just a trickle when we come by, because we don't usually come by when it's after a big rain like this, but super cool. So much water running around. I was pretty curious how high the river would be here. So there's a little creek right here, and then there's a really cool camp spot down there that we've showed you before. But the river is so high, you can't even get to that. Like, that's how much water is here. So I can't really show it to you, but there's a ton of water. So it's kind of what I figured. I didn't know it would be quite this high, but I'm not surprised because it just rained so much. So we're gonna turn around, head back out, and cruise out through some of the main roads, because creek crossings, they ain't happening today unless they're really little creeks. without the Suburban, I don't have all my recovery gear and stuff, but I figured we might run into some trees, so I grabbed my kinetic rope earlier, as well as the chainsaw, a couple batteries, a couple soft shackles, and the air compressor in case we need to air down to try to get out of the situation. So that's all I got. Downside of the Tahoe, there's not much storage space. So with 8 people in here, there's not much extra room for gear and equipment or anything.
This is cool. Like, it's so pretty. It's a jungle. Yeah, let's see if I can get through here.
Another tree just like 100 yards down the road past that last one, so I don't think anybody's been down this portion of road. We may not be making it much further anyway. I think there's another creek crossing up here, and it's a good chance it's too deep. So, but we got those trees out of the way. Why not? We're here to see the creek, so might as well go as far as we can. Well, we found our crossing. We're not going through that one. Some other folks down here too. I don't think anybody's going across it. There's a slab there, but that water's moving too fast. I would not even think about attempting it, even though I don't think it's all that deep, but it's just moving too fast. Not a smart thing to try to cross. We had to turn around and backtrack, so we're exploring a couple other roads and just came across a nice camp spot here. Pretty basic, it's just out in the woods, but it is a nice secluded one. It's off the main road a little ways. Nice fire ring, plenty of room for a few rigs. Our camper would fit in here no problem, and I could even turn it around. So we're marking this on Gaia. We're also tracking our route. So tree branch just fell. So Patreon followers, thank y'all for supporting us. Especially during this time when we haven't had as much stuff to put on Patreon. We haven't had any routes in a while, but we'll have one for this. It's mostly basic stuff, but it is pretty dry. There's some more roads in this area we're going to have to come back and check out, but I don't want to get off into any crazy stuff right now because we don't have a winch. I don't want to bury this thing. I don't want to get us in trouble, and I don't want to break it because all the other stuff's already down. So another branch fell. All right, but we're gonna keep exploring and seeing what we can find. We had to swing by and see Falling Waters, which is absolutely rolling right now. Woo! It's been a little while since I've seen it rolling this good, and I think it's gone down from where it was. Still super cool. It's always fun to see these things when they're just roaring. Taking a short break here at this little camp spot. Beautiful spot here. I love this camp spot. We never camped here, but I want to sometime. It's a really pretty one, right on the creek here. Of course, it's just rolling. Got some red buds bloomed out up in here. Beautiful spot. Well, Six Finger Falls is rolling as well. Imagine that. This one's really prettier. So is Falling Waters when they're not at flood stage like this. You get that blue-green color and everything. They're really prettier then when it clears up a little bit. But it's always cool to just see the massive amounts of water. Just so much force there. So much power in water. Just crazy the way it thunders and roars and just wash anything away. We're working our way out now, but stopped off at one more waterfall. This one's really hard to capture because it comes off this drainage and then dumps right into the creek. So you can't get down below it very easily, if at all, but it's running good. Super cool. What a wonderful day. I really enjoyed getting out today. We've just been home so much and haven't been able to do anything for a while because we've been working on so many projects. Just getting out, the rain, the woods, it's motivating me to get back to work on the Suburban so we can get back out here and do this stuff that we love, exploring, hiking, seeing new places, going on trips, camping. We really enjoy being out here, but we also really enjoy things at home, the animals, all that. It's like we enjoy both, so we'll keep trying to do both as much as we can. On our way out, we're going to stop off at a few of these redbud trees. They got these little blossoms on them. You can actually kind of boil these down and make a jelly or a syrup out of them. So we actually finally ran into some today. We're a little bit further north than we started, and they are still looking good, blossomed out nice. Further south, they've already dropped most of their blooms. So we're gonna grab some of these on our way out of here that look good and see if we can't make a batch of redbud jelly. People usually say it kind of has a slight plum type flavor. Kind of has a floral plumish type flavor. We made syrup several years ago. We tried to make jelly, ended up being syrup. We're gonna try to make jelly again. We'll see how it turns out. We've collected enough redbud blossoms. We don't remember how many we actually need to do like a batch of jelly, but we're gonna call it good. Even though we're constantly seeing more trees, but it's kind of like muscadines, and you see them and you just got to go get them. But we're not as serious about redbud as muscadines. If it was muscadines, we'd be stopping at every single one of these. Redbud's not quite as enticing, but we're spotting them all now. So now we're spotting all the good looking trees that have some good blossoms on them. But we're gonna head on to the house. We're done exploring. We're just gonna hit the highway and head home. Well guys, we made it home from our first adventure in the Tahoe. Looking forward to some more in that. Maybe I got some ideas on some combinations of Suburban, Tahoe, maybe building out that Tahoe different than the Suburban, but somewhat similar. I got some ideas, so we'll see what happens in the future on it. I don't know yet, but we're gonna take our redbuds and go try to make some redbud jelly over the next day or two. We got to get them kind of boiled down and stuff. But I think I'm just gonna film some of that and put it on our Patreon account for our patrons. So if y'all are interested in that, it'll be on the Patreon. So we're gonna wrap it up. Looks like the rain is done. So it was really nice to get out, get in the Ozarks, see the spring green colors, the flowers, the redbuds, the dogwoods bloomed out, see the water running. It was really nice to get out today. We almost didn't do it. We almost were like, we just gotta stay home, work on the Suburban, but we decided, no, we're going. There's too much water. It's too beautiful. We got to get out there and see it, and it was well worth it, and it was really nice to get out. So we're gonna wrap it up for today. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next adventure.